NewGenGamers.com.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another NewGenGamers Console Wars of the Past. Today we are taking a look at the SEGA Dreamcast.
Came to us in September 9th, 1999.
9/9/99.
Exactly. It's kind of like that.
Here's a look. Here's the system itself.
You have the power button, and then you have the open button.
Yes.
And if you touch the open button, it pops up just like a PlayStation. You put your, say, your Dreamcast game in here, close it, spins around, there's a laser, and then this will light up orange.
Yes. Now on the front port here we have, you'll see it's a 4 controller port system.
See the name of SEGA, it's powered by Windows CE, and they're not numbered 1, 2, 3, or 4. They're numbered
A, B, C, D.
Yeah. And if we take
turn it around,
we have our modem line.
There's our Ethernet port right here.
No, it's a modem line.
Whatever.
And then we have your power, and then your
here's your AV out, and here's a serial out.
Yeah. And then if you turn it over, the one thing that was real nice about the Dreamcast is that the rubber stoppies were in the front. They were on all fours, so it was easy to move around, but not so easy that it was going to slide off something if you accidentally pulled the cords. And then
here's where our modem goes in.
Yeah. This is where our modem is.
Can we pop that sucker out of there?
I can't do it right now, but
okay.
No, because you need a screwdriver to pop it back there.
Yeah.
And
we're not going to go that far. No.
This would pop out, and you'd install a modem.
Or you could put, well, they came with modems, and you could install a faster
modems.
one. Yeah.
And then there's ventilation openings, and then serial numbers.
Yeah.
And then this is all the information about your Dreamcast that, you know. And then
now we're going to take you to a look at some of the accessories. Here's a non-standard accessory, a Dreamcast keyboard, which could be used for typing online or
House of the Dead, or Typing of the Dead.
Typing of the Dead, yes.
Alien Front Online, Phantasy Star Online.
Well, there were a lot of games too that had chat and email options.
But I ran across this in 2012 at a Goodwill, and I just picked it up.
Yeah, you'll see most of the keys are the same as a standard keyboard. The only real difference is you have your S1 button,
S2,
S3, and S3.
And
everything else is the standard QWERTY keyboard.
And then it's a standard.
And it goes in a Dreamcast plug.
Yep.
No additional things required. Just plugs right into your Dreamcast.
And then next thing, let's show them the controller.
Oh yes, so
because you can't really have a console without a controller.
Dreamcast controller.
Now this may look familiar to some gamers. Gamers being those who own Xboxes. As you can see,
they have the colored face buttons.
X,
we have
Y,
A, B, X, Y.
Here's your start button, your D-pad, and then your analog sticks, and then there's 2 triggers. Also, cord comes out of the bottom. Now, right here is where you
would put your VMUs, which let's take a quick look at the VMUs here. Now these aren't just your standard memory card. This screen would work while you're playing it, and also works when you have a battery in it for taking the game on the go, mini games.
Like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah, which were really hot at the time. So they have a standard control, you have the sleep, and then the mode button, and then your 2 action buttons.
A lot of games utilize the VMU for communication.
Now.
Oh, they also had a little, you could put cell phone charms on them.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 ports, right? First slot is always for your VMU, and then your second slot could be for an accessory.
Like, say, the Dreamcast microphone, which we got with Alien Front Online here.
And we'll show you that later. But your VMU accessories always go behind
Yeah,
memory
where the
card.
actual VMU goes.
But you take it out, and then you can put in another VMU.
So there was a possibility, if you had all 4 controllers plugged in, to have 8 VMUs that you could access at once.
Right.
Which, once your library gets large enough, you probably would need that many.
And then here's a
third party. Third party ones did not come with the screen or the buttons, so this was just basically treated like a standard memory card.
But then, if you notice that all the Dreamcast VMUs that we have, which are 4 of them, 3 of them are translucent or transparent, and then 1 is actual.
Yeah, kind of like how N64s and Game Boy Colors looked at the time, where they just kind of gave you the translucent look to them. Where this was the standard one that kind of came with the system, and it's not see-through.
Now, the only thing that's different from the actual console is that most consoles at this time is that their names would be put on the controllers.
Yeah.
It just says Dreamcast. It doesn't say Sega.
Yeah. Well.
So.
I'm sure it does on the back.
Okay, on the back. There's no promotion on the front.
Yeah.
That says, hey, this belongs to Sega. So.
Yeah.
And then we have a third-party controller.
We have a third-party controller. Here's a Mad Catz. As you can see, the D-pad's a little bit different shaped. This is a diamond instead of a triangle. This is a little bit bigger.
And then you have...
And they also add the Z and C buttons.
And then there's some rubber grippies.
Yeah, this one has more of like a Saturn setup where you have the 6 buttons. I guess it's real good for fighting games.
Yeah.
And also the triggers.
Yeah. These work just like standard triggers. There's not 4 of them at the top. It's just the right and left triggers.
Yeah, it's still kind of early.
And so, here's some of the games. Like we said, Alien Online says real-time voice chat, microphone included, right?
Yeah, that's where we
And
got
then on the back, it shows 1-player, online multiplayer, standard controller, microphone, VMU compatible blocks, modem, jump pack compatible, and VGA box.
The jump pack was what gave the Dreamcast rumble.
Yeah, it's kind of like N64's. And then the microphone was in here, the VMU was in here, and the game was back here. And then it came with these manuals that showed us
we got a
project
register
registration.
online.
And then I think there's a sweepstakes in here. Yes.
Yes, you can win an emergency call ambulance arcade machine.
Yep. And then there is a manual for the microphone.
Yes.
And this guy looks really, really happy.
Yeah. He looks really happy to be using the microphone.
You hold it approximately 2 to 10 inches away from your face at a 45-degree angle, and it shows you how to install the microphone into the VMU, put the VMU into the Dreamcast controller, pull it out, and store it away.
Alright, let's take a quick look at some of the titles here. Here we got the web browser, which was brought to us by SEGANet. All Dreamcast cartridges, Jesus.
Jeez.
Discs. As you see on the web browser, they have kind of a picture of the Dreamcast, and then we have Sega's logo right down here.
Some games just had Dreamcast, and some had Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah, let me see if I can find one that has Sega Dreamcast. Yes.
Yeah.
Sega Rally 2 here has Sega Dreamcast.
As you can see, Sega Dreamcast, and then just Dreamcast, Sega.com, and Sega.
Yes.
But this says Sega Dreamcast, Sega.com, Sega. So it's kind of like Department of Redundancy.
Right. Maybe that's why they changed it.
Probably. So, most Dreamcast games came with this nifty little book, like all standard jewel cases at that time, before they did away with, hey, you don't need a manual for this game. And then on the back it tells you what the game...
What all it uses, what it's compatible with. Like this one would use our keyboard, this one would use the VMU, the jump pack, and the VGA box. This one, you'll see something different here. This one, House of the Dead can utilize the arcade stick.
Yeah. There's no light gun though.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that. I have not seen a light gun compatible game.
A lot of the ports for, or a lot of the games for the
No surprise, Soul Calibur uses the arcade stick.
Dreamcast were arcade ports, so you would think that they would be light gun compatible, especially House of the Dead.
Right. Now, and this is just a small sampling of the games we're going to be playing.
Yeah.
So.
But at the time, this was, pretty.
It was pretty revolutionary at the time.
It was pretty revolutionary for some online gaming. So why don't we get into it?
How about we fire this thing up?
I think we should.
All right.
All right.
Welcome everyone to another NewGenGamers Console Wars of the Past. Today we are taking a look at the SEGA Dreamcast.
Came out in 1999.
$99.99 to be exact. The date to remember. The first game we're going to be taking a look at today is the first foray of Sonic into 3D, Sonic Adventure.
It was actually launched for console.
Yeah, it was a launch day. So, probably the first game that a lot of people saw, or at least one of the first few games we're going to play here is going to be one of the first games people saw when they booted up their Dreamcast.
As you can see, it's pretty realistic. It's Sega's Sonic's first foray into 3D.
Now, that's not counting that Sonic Jam.
Yeah, but it's also one of the first games that bragged about the full open world concept. It's not open world as we know it, but it was pretty expansive, and you could free roam.
Yeah, that is true. It was working on a hub world structure, basically like Super Mario 64.
Right.
But you had a lot more different locations to go to rather than just the castle and the outside area.
Yeah.
So they kind of gave you more of a city to wander around in, and the undergrounds.
But here you see the 3D graphics. The water mechanics at the time were awesome. They were very pretty.
Yeah.
But the only problem with the textures is that they repeated a lot. So.
Well, that was kind of a cheat.
It's also a common problem when you do RPGs is that textures tend to repeat. Most good games now these days, Skyrim, Fallout, any game that uses expansive landscapes does the whole repeating texture thing.
Well, and they have a lot of things to process too. I mean, any game that's according to the technology trying to process a lot is going to need to use a few cheats here and there.
We're going to go ahead and press start.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling the love. You feel the love. Yo, what's your name? Scary Payton, but they call me the Glove. How you feeling tonight? Yo, I'm feeling the love. Feel the love. I'm feeling the Sonic. Yo, Sonic. Man, stay off the light speed.
My bad.
Sonic Adventure on SEGA Dreamcast.